VFX Bro here with another tutorial in After Effects. We're going to be showing you how we did some composite modes in a music video that we shot a few months ago. You can see all of these images are pretty standard shots, performance shots, and we were able to make them look a little bit more interesting by adding these overlay effects. So what we're going to do is take a new clip and do the same effect to it, just one take here. And you can see we got some nice yellows, some blues in there that just add a lot of artistic value to your shot. So we're going to go ahead and start a new project and import our footage. What you're going to want to do is make sure that your shot is nice and dark, but that it also has some light parts to the frame that you can use to add into the original shot. So you can see in this shot, his face is a little bit dark, but on the sides we have those lights in the background that we'll be able to use to overlay onto his face and brighten it up. We're then going to take the clip and duplicate it 2 times so that we'll have 3 total clips. Then we're going to select the middle clip and change the overlay mode to add. Now you can copy these clips really easily by hitting Command C and then Command V. We're going to take the top clip and add a mask to it. So go ahead and hit the G button on your keyboard, shortcut for masking tool, and kind of make a random shape around where you see the highlighted part of the frame. So we see these lights in the background. We're going to mask around the lights in the background. Now what we're going to do is click on our regular button here, and then we're going to expand that frame so that it's a lot bigger, and then we're going to put it on top of our original image. Obviously every shot will be slightly different. We're going to be going for a very organic look here, so making it random will only help your shot. We're going to add a mask to it as well, which will make the overlay not as obvious. I like to add a fast blur to my shots too, especially if there's a defined light within the shot. Here we can see that the background is pretty blurred already, but I'm going to go ahead and run through the process that we would use if it were really defined. So the more defined the object, the greater the blur you're going to add to the shot. That looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and add the add composite mode to our newly added and masked shot, and that looks pretty good right there. You can see that our effect is really starting to take place. We're going to add a new adjustment layer just to control the curves. So go ahead and type curves in your effects bar. We're going to add that to the adjustment layer. Usually I just like to bump everything up a little bit, especially if we're shooting in very low lighting. Remember, you're going to want the majority of this effect to take place over dark parts of the frame. So we have a very dark jacket that he's wearing, very dark hair. Both of those places are going to be great ways to add our composite mode into the shot. Take those blues up, and we're just about there. Let's run through this here. Not too bad. It's covering up his face quite a bit, so we're going to want to take that down, move it around a little bit, possibly bring down the opacity just so that it's not quite so distracting. We're going to kind of skew this composite mode a little bit here. Very good. Move it out of his eyes. It's a moving shot, so the location of the overlay is going to be changing throughout the shot, which is kind of cool because it moves along with the movement of the shot, but we still want to make sure that it's not super distracting. As we render through this, we can see that parts of the image look really good, especially when the light's not completely covering his face. Okay, so what we're going to do is take the opacity down a little bit just because it's still a little bit too harsh on his face. Bring it down to about 47. And that looks pretty good right there. Let's run through it again, and yeah, that did the trick. Pretty cool. So this effect can be used in almost any situation where you're wanting to take a normal looking shot and add some artistic value to the shot. We're going to take a look at the before and after here. Nice. So yeah, that is the overlay compositing tutorial. Hope you enjoyed.